If I want it to only go that far, but I've assembled this much, I have to now be involved on the way down to slow things down. Right. If I want it to go that far and I only assembled this much, I have to be involved. So it's developing a touch for you and for me is different. To get it to go however far it needs to go, assembling the right amount of shaft lean and face angle and all that to get it to go.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We're going to do a little short game vlog with Eric Meichtry, who has been a playing professional for 30 years?
20 years? 23? Jeez.
He's been a playing professional for 20 years. There's over 50 wins on all kinds of different mini tours and professional golf tournaments. Anything outside of America? Have you ever won outside of America?
No.
Oh, okay.
Never really been outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so we're going to do this quick game of pig. So we're going to, you guys know how to play it. So all you have to do is you pick a spot, and no caveats is the only thing. Like you can't say like standing on one foot or you got to hit it low, you got to hit it high. Just pick a spot.
Get it close.
Get it close, that's it. So Eric, we'll start from here, and I'll go first.
Okay.
And pretty simple, we're going to go to that one there. So what's your philosophy on, and as we do it, you know, we'll talk.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy on short game, pitching, chipping, that kind of stuff to get people better?
I want it on the green as quickly as possible.
Okay.
That's I mean, I look at a spot a yard or two on.
That's pretty good. Oh, the lip out cost me 1.5 feet. It lipped out and it kind of got the slingshot in me. Okay, so here Eric goes. You get inside 3 feet to get me there. Oh my gosh.
It's got heat.
Oh, it does. This is like a tournament firm green.
Yeah.
All right, so Eric, you have a P. So what were you saying? You like to get it on the green as soon as possible.
I like to get it on because if I'm looking at the distance that needs to be covered, then I get to use the smallest amount of motion to get it there. Right. Yeah. So I ask my students, I go, hey, if you had a shot, one last shot to win the Masters, what would you want it to be? Yeah. And they go a 3-foot putt. I go, okay, I'll give you the answer. It'd be a 1-inch putt.
Yeah.
Right. So and I go, why a 1-inch putt? And I go, you only have to move your club this much. Not a whole lot can go wrong, right? When I'm just taking it here and moving it like this to tap my ball in, there's not a lot that can go wrong with that. So if I design really my whole game inside of 150 yards to be as small of a motion as possible and around the philosophy of a 1-inch putt, then I'm taking a chip shot. Let's say if we have a lot of green to work with, I'll take a 7 or 6 iron, and I'm just taking it here and moving it there, where others would be taking a wedge or even a 9 and it going way up here and having speed through it. So I'll go, well look, you took your club and moved it this much, I moved mine this much, so less can go wrong. It's closer to that 1-inch putt. So the shorter I can move this thing and the closer I can keep it to the ball, the less can go wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So it's built
so that you're saying you want to get it on the green soon, because that wherever you are, 1 yard onto the green is going to be closer than the hole. So that'll be a smaller motion.
Smaller motion.
And more time on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, and a technical question for you. As you were talking about that, you made 2 practice swings where the bounce just perfectly made that little sound here. And most people, when they would do that, they would leave 2 scars on the green. Right. So how do you get that appropriate amount of shallowness to do that, which I think also, like, you know, a lot of people short games, they get that traveling more this way rather than that. How do you get that shallowness into your...
Opening it up, so we introduce the bounce. Okay. Shot.
This is something that's just said on broadcast all the time. What do you mean by the bounce and introducing the bounce?
I've got this little channel here, so it doesn't have a lot of bounce. Let me see your wedge.
Okay.
So the bottom of this club, this rounded part, is the bounce. Here we got the leading edge. So if I'm contacting the ground with that leading edge, I better be good.
Oh, so this part here is not really the bounce.
It's kind of the bottom and a little towards the back.
But when you're talking about introducing the bounce, you really mean the back, the middle and back of that.
Yeah, so when I open my club face into the ground and I'm introducing that to, see how that See how that leading edge is above the ground?
Hold on a second, Eric, because I think this will explain it a little better. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, leading edge is above the ground.
Yeah, when I can introduce this, as long as I have the right turf conditions that support this, right? Meaning it's going to be kind of soft. If I have a real tight lie, I can't use this bounce. So when I have the bounce that's contacting the ground, it's a much more gentle, forgiving part of the club than that leading edge if I have it coming in this way.
Yeah.
Right. So if I were to hit a shot off of this, I wouldn't go this way. I'll hit, you know, a 1/4 inch up the ball and skull it.
Yeah.
So I would be going down in here with a little more shaft lean than I would be going this way.
Yep.
But a lot of the shots that I hit around the greens with whatever club I'm using, I'm a little open. The shaft will be fairly neutral, meaning not a lot of shaft lean. It won't be hanging back. Be fairly neutral. I'll open the face. So if I'm hitting a little chip and run with a 7-iron, I like it opened up so it's the bounce that's hitting the ground, not pitching it. And also this condition is going to be a slower ball flight than this one, and I like soft and slow around the greens versus fast and spinny.
Right. Okay. Choose a shot, Eric. And as you make your way to that next shot, the one thing I heard with you the couple times that we've done some short game stuff, and I've also heard in the sound of Tim Yelverton's shots, is it almost sounds like fat.
Almost sounds like fat.
Yeah. So you're like, it almost sounds like when he's chipping and some of these tour guys I've played with are chipping, it almost sounds like, oh, they caught it fat, and then you see it like rolling to like an inch, and you're like, oh wait, that's not fat.
Yeah, it sounds a little clunky.
All right, where are you taking us? Okay.
But it's just that bounce that's just kind of, you know, scuffling the ground.
Sailing into it, yeah.
So again, I like it soft as we can get it. And obviously if there's a shot that needs more spin and more speed, then we change the condition. But this, we're just kind of sticking it into the hill a little bit. So it's just...
Yeah. A little bit of an upslope. Do you do the thing where... I heard you say you're swinging into the slope. Usually I hear like you kind of try to swing with it, or...
It depends on the shot. Depends on how much green we have, what flight we're looking for. If that pin was, you know, 3 steps on, then I'd go with the slope and let that thing travel.
You really have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I goosed that one, so I'm looking like PI pretty good.
We'll see. I gotta actually execute a shot here to do it, though. It's not a gimmick. That's pretty good, Eric.
Yeah.
Just because I know how firm it is.
Right.
I had the advantage of seeing you go first. All right, choose our last shot.
Right.
Or our potentially last shot.
So now we'll find one that we got to lift it a little bit, and we'll go up top here. Actually, we'll go right up there.
Like hit it in the air a little bit?
Yeah.
What do you think is the #1 problem you see with like the recreational player that is an okay player with just a horrible short game?
A lot of times they don't know what shot to hit.
So they have a problem on the choices?
They have a problem on the choices, and it's sometimes like fitting a round peg in a square hole, right? It just doesn't match. So they have these, and I see it even with decent players where they're doing things, and I'm like, what? I played with this guy at Bear Creek before second stage of Q School, and he was hitting some shots around the greens that made no sense to me.
Like, why would you try that shot?
I mean,
give me an example.
It was a kind of a middle pin on a par 3. He went long left. The greens were very fast, and there was a little ridge, and I'm looking at it, the way I saw the shot to be played was just a little pitch up this way and let it fall. And he took this massive swing to get it up in the air to like land it on this mound and let it trickle down.
Right.
And of course he missed a spot and it came up short, and it was, you know, 15 feet short.
But his chances of hitting that small spot was...
Yeah, I'm going, wow, interesting. Interesting how that is how this high level player, you know, saw that particular shot.
Right.
You know,
so give us an example with this shot you're about to hit. What would be like a player that like makes like terrible decisions? How might they try to hit this shot?
It'll either be, they'll either have too much, or it'll be more of a pitch and it's coming in fast.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
so we're trying to just get this and slide this club underneath it and letting this go. And a lot of times I'll see their swing be, if they're hitting some, you know, kind of shot that has to go up, they do it from up here. Right? Now they've got this arm loaded, and now if with this arm this high coming down, that's okay for some shots that require a ton of speed.
Right.
But I'm watching them like up here, giving this for that. I like it down here and just sliding that club underneath.
Right.
Right? Rather than it being way up here. But they watch guys on TV, they're doing it from way up here.
Yeah.
Partly because their rough is deeper and the greens are firmer.
Right.
So they need a little more speed getting through that rough into a harder green.
Yeah.
But they're doing it on their everyday course from way up here. I'm like,
Yeah, from the fairway.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. So again, I like to move things as little as possible, and I'll let this club go underneath it like this, and I end up like that, just a little bit open.
Oh, that was a good shot there for everybody. Folks, that's going to be tough. I'm going to have to earn that one. This letter is not going to be a gift. Okay, so I'm going to see the weird thing about the bounce is I get so scared of thinning it over the side, just like you show, it comes up a little bit. But that one I could hear. Are you like Phil Mickelson said on his DVD, where he's actually trying to hit this bounce, hear that? Yeah. Like he's trying to do that?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah, okay. It's like him on the crazy ones, he's basically going like that, you know, but on the...
yeah, you care. Mine was just a touch clunky, right?
Yeah.
But that base slid right underneath.
So shortish backswing, and don't be afraid to let it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like on most shots, we're trying to be like that, and then that. But this one,
this is just the opposite.
Oh, I might have gotten lucky there. Oh, I did.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, your impact was better, but
yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna have to walk these out, folks.
I think I got pigged.
Might have. You have the disadvantage of having to explain it. That is always the kiss of death.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to do then what you explained. Nice.
All right, cool. All right, give us your final. All right, so people have always asked for this question. I've never taken the time to get it satisfactorily explained. When somebody has the chipping yips, what do you think is usually the issue? As far as like, it just looks real unbalanced. As far as like, it's like just a little bit of a backswing and then really fast, or maybe like huge backswing and then it's some kind of like hiccup. Yeah. You know, with the yips. Yeah. In chipping. What do you think that usually is? We can walk over here to the grass.
Not knowing or trusting where the power comes from, or that there's going to be power, the right amount of power that gets assembled. Oh, okay. Trusting that it'll get delivered. Okay.
So your power is made in your backswing more than in the through.
Just as we did, you know, the 10, the 15, the 20. I'm assembling and accumulating through changing these conditions to assemble more energy in this golf ball.
Yeah, if you guys didn't see that video, just because not everybody sees every video, yeah, so he said if I want 10 units, whatever, of power into the ground, that'd be 10, and then that'd be 15, and you guys get the point, and that'd be 20. So it's assembled already. You're not adding the extra, okay? Right. So when they have the chipping yips.
The chipping yip. So if we went to a simple chip, get the easiest chip you can with a perfect lie, and take like a 9-iron and just like brush it through the grass and be real simple with it, and just watch that thing go. Don't hit it, right? A lot of times we're still trying to make it go, but we've already assembled this much. Just let it go find bottom and scoot it along. We hear on TV acceleration. Oh, he's got great acceleration through his chip shots. To me, that's almost as bad as deceleration, right? So what if we didn't have either one? We just had the amount.
So for our final part of this video, Eric, let's just show me show me deceleration, and then show me over acceleration, and then show me what you would like to see people do.
So if I decelled, and I'm just trying to get to our first hole location, I'd probably bring it up too high, and then have to slow things down.
Your body would react to, okay, that's too high, let me...
Yeah. And I've accumulated too much energy in this club head, and I got to slow things down. Well, that's going to mess up the bottom, right? And if I have too much acceleration, it's usually when when I go too short and then give it a little bit.
You see that a lot.
Yeah, you see that a lot. So it's just not knowing where the touch is to assemble the right amount to let that thing just come up and go back down.
Yep.
Without it accelerating or decelerating. It's just, hey, it's 15, it's this much, and we drop. We let it go. So how do we get to that point? It's developing touch.
Right.
It's getting, again, with an instructor that you believe their information, and then it's doing it over and over so you develop a touch.
So is it a feeling of I put that much in and the club's just falling through? Oh, okay. It's falling through, but it's not. You're also not retarding the motion of it so that it kind of falls away.
No.
So yeah, so it's just falling as it wants to.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still participating.
Right.
Your body's still in motion, so it's not like, oh, I just let it fall. It's like, well, kind of. We're still in motion. This body. So I like to say that we're somewhat involved in assembling, and we're participating in its spending. So if I'm just participating in its spending, then I don't have to make up for compensations. Meaning if I want it to only go that far, but I've assembled this much, I have to now be involved on the way down to slow things down. Or if I want it to go that far and I only assembled this much, I have to be involved so it's developing a touch for you and for me is different. To get it to go however far it needs to go, assembling the right amount of shaft lean and face angle and all that to get it to go the right height and right distance, is developing that touch so I don't have to mess with it on the way down.
And that also kind of plays to the transition of it as well, huh?
Yeah.
Mostly the really bad chippers we see, there's a lot of speed up here.
A lot of speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here it's a very, like if I do this.
That's it.
Yeah, that's about what it is, huh?
It's assembling this much, it'll go that far. This is just off of one hinge point. And if I want it further, I'd assemble a little bit higher, it's going to give me more down there. If I want more, it's up here, and bang, it's going to go. And
the timing, if you hold it like that, the timing of that transition, if I throw it up on its own, you see how it kind of pauses there on its own.
Pauses on its own.
See, it's not, you're not holding it, but it is kind of waiting.
Yeah.
You know, at the top goes the force vectors like a. Yeah.
If it gets to 10, from 10 to 8, 7, it's just kind of slowly, then it gets to here and it picks up speed. Right? And again, it's just off of one hinge point.
Yeah.
So when I have multiple hinge points, being this wrist and this arm and then here, and then I post up and all of those spin, I got something. So
with chipping, when people have a lot of swing bottom issues, they're too thin, they're too fat, you think that's usually from them adding something extra at some point? It's usually adding something, or the geometry of the set off will be a little bit off and they have to reroute it somewhere to get it. I mean, I worked with a kid yesterday, he was struggling with just little, greenside pitches in the air, and he was too open, the club was too far up and it was open. I'm looking at it going, all right, go ahead, Trevor. And he's doing it, and it was just kind of flopping up short right, or if he did, it would go left. I'm like, well, dude, you got no chance from there to get it where you want it. Right. So we adjusted the geometry of things and got this face a little more square to the target. Yeah. And he was, boom, popping it straight up. And especially with like a lot of young people, but so many people like to get their stance way left, their face way right, and then like kind of swing along this way to make the ball go like that way. Is that just because like that looks fancy, or do you think what are they trying to do? Their interpretation of what they think it's supposed to be. Oh, okay, so gotcha. Just not having knowledge on how the geometry of the shot works. Yeah. And they see it on TV, and these guys do cool stuff, and they overlay their interpretation of it. And it's supposed to be like this. Yeah. And the commentators say, look how open he is, and the face comes through like that. So it's not quite knowing. Right. So then again, you get with somebody that knows some things and you trust, and you go, no, here's the geometry. Does it make sense? See how this is going to go like that, not the way this is, so. The other thing is too, because I work in TV, the big part of that is like, as the TV director is like, oh, go to Daly, he's about to take this crazy flop shot, or go to, they'll broadcast all those, the wackiest shots. Yeah. You're not seeing you're not seeing like Chesson Hadley hitting like a 10-yard carry, 10-yard rollout, boring chip shot on a par 5 or something. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Eric.
Cool.
That was great.
Fun.
You guys can connect with Eric at EZE Golf 60. We're going to be doing a lot of short game stuff at our Be Better Golf School that we're going to have coming up possibly in March. If you're interested in that in Murrieta, California, around the middle of March, let us know. Contact BeBetterGolf@gmail.com. We'll be with Eric and I. We'll get some golf in, and we'll do like a ton of work together, simplifying things, getting a little tips from the champ here. See you later, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you for spending so much extra time.
Yeah.
That was an important video because